Retracing Casey's steps that Saturday night, the eve of St. Patrick's Day, she began at the Buffalo Wild Wings, where she bumped into her ex-boyfriend, Eric Haig. They had broken up the night before, but he says they parted friends.
Just barely a casual exchange there in person is all it was. We stayed out of each other's way.
Haig was never questioned as a suspect, just asked for a witness statement.
She ended up here at what was Uncle Louie's Lounge inside the Royal Z Lanes.
She was already pretty intoxicated at that point.
Chad Terrell was working the door that night. After about 2 hours of partying inside, he says Casey came out and got in a physical altercation with her friend Tammy McKay. He said McKay wanted Casey to go home, but Casey did not want to go. Casey's sisters question McKay's story.
Even though they got into a physical altercation,
you're in her car. They were driving Casey's car. They were in her car. They had her phone. They had her purse. They had everything that she needed. Her keys, her house keys, her everything. Why didn't they go look for her?
Instead, McKay had her boyfriend, Michael Hartley, look for Casey. Surveillance video shows Hartley getting in his buddy Brandon Reed's car at 12:44 a.m. at the Walmart across the street from Uncle Louie's. The two told police they picked up Casey about a minute later. She was walking home on the road to Sabina. They say they wanted to go to Hartley's home first in New Vienna to get his car to drive her home. But from where they were, Sabina was only 9 minutes away. Why drive 14 minutes to New Vienna, then another 23 minutes back to Sabina? By Hartley and Reed's own admission in their statements to police, Casey wanted out so badly she opened the car door at 50 to 55 miles per hour. While the chief detective on the case, Josh Riley, said in his report that he searched the car that night and saw no blood, hair, or any obvious sign of a struggle, there is no documentation showing a forensic analysis on the car or the men themselves, even though the state police determined one man's polygraph test was inconclusive and the other's was deceptive.
The suspect's DNA was never collected, no.
Seems like you would take their DNA. Would you?
I would probably try, yeah.
We showed current Wilmington Police Chief Robert Wilson the coroner's report, which states pathologists took samples from Casey's body that would be used for a sexual assault kit, vaginal, anal, and oral swabs, and fingernail clippings, and returned those to the Wilmington Police. But Wilmington Police never sent those to BCI for analysis.
Maybe a few more things could have been done just to tidy up the end of it or whatever else, but I think with what they've had at that time, I don't see anything that's glaring that says, you screwed this up per se.
We presented the lack of forensic evidence in the case to Hamilton County's coroner. She said it would be standard procedure to have the samples from Casey sent to BCI for analysis.
One way or the other, BCI should have an answer if they were given the DNA profiles.
Yeah, they should have something on record, definitely.
And now that evidence is gone. This is a list of 2,000 items at the Wilmington Police Department that the property room manager put on a destruction list in 2018. Among them, the coroner's swabs from Casey's autopsy.
In that case, it was closed as an accidental drowning.
And so you asked for the destruction of the evidence.
We did.
Former Detective Scott Baker was in charge of that evidence room that he said was busting at the seams. So he took evidence from many of Wilmington's closed cases, including Casey's, and put them on a destruction list, which former Judge Tim Ruddock signed.
There's no mention of a rape kit in the property that I ordered destroyed. If there was, I wouldn't have signed it.
Coroner swabs, wouldn't that raise a red flag for you?
No.
Unlabeled evidence, untested forensic swabs, uncollected DNA, uninterrogated witnesses. Casey's father and the 4,000 people who signed the online petition to reopen Casey's case see an unfinished investigation.
I want to know who killed my daughter.
Hey there, thanks so much for visiting the Local 12 YouTube channel. Click the links, hit subscribe to get notified anytime we post content to this channel.